So it forced you to go, okay, well, we answered that wrong. So find out what the right answer is. So it provided a lot of opportunities. We put way too much time between each appointment. They go much faster than that.
We only had one day ahead to make the appointments, so we were kind of forced to let them tell us when we could come in.
Because we had to piggyback on two of them.
You can't ever get that right until you get to know your buyers. So even I've had this problem just a couple of weeks ago, showed new buyers. And when you ask people, they don't even know how to answer the question. So it's not something you can get done in advance. You just have to schedule in case they take their time.
Yeah.
And when they don't, you're gonna take the time to get to know them
Yeah,
sit in
which
the
is
car
what we did, yeah.
and say, hey, we're gonna take a little more time here because we're just gonna go sit in the car. So there's no, I'm afraid, that's something you're gonna run into.
Yeah.
We introduced her to Hawaiian moons, the buttered green
Perfect,
juice.
exactly,
showed
exactly,
her
that's
where
what
she
you
could
do.
go in the
Yeah,
neighborhood.
absolutely, fantastic. So, tell me some wins.
That was a win.
Getting the
What else
appointment.
is a win? What else is a win? Is that the only win you've had in the last 6 weeks?
We went to
We
a
studied contracts and got really clear on
We
those.
went to West Side Caravan and we did a broker agent open house with Gail. Walked
We helped her,
20
yeah.
agents all over the
Helped her show the
property,
property.
learned all the facts, and Gail was really pleased with our performance.
Have you been coming to classes and learning a lot?
Yes.
Oh.
That's a win.
What a concept. Have you been
Marion
working
goes
on-
back to her part.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to show you is what I just listened to is a lot of kicking at yourselves and yeah, we did good, but. Yeah, we did good, but. That's not really a good mindset setter. And we're trying to help you focus. So what I'm trying to help you see is just focus for a moment on your wins. You got your license, you hung your license here, you started your classes, you've learned so much. Like, if I'd have asked you to take somebody for showings 2 months ago, how would you have felt about that, right? But you were so ready to now take that on. Yeah, pat yourselves on the back.
We actually
Rock
we did a lot of
stars.
high-fiving, just so
What's
you
that?
know.
Rock stars. Rock stars. Yeah.
We actually did a lot of high-fiving, we just didn't, we don't like to brag.
Well, I'm not saying you're a 5. That's
No.
not what I'm saying. No,
thanks.
but but could you say to yourselves, I have some total wins here, and I have a lot to learn, and I want to get more comfortable at this and whatnot. But darn, I've come a long way, baby.
Yeah.
Right? So that's what we're trying to show you is these little wins is like, oh my gosh, I did do that, and I did do that, and I did do that. So yeah, good for you, good for you. Focus on that. So anything you do differently going forward?
I just said keep practicing, attending classes, and asking questions. Nothing's different. Not really, I ask a lot of questions.
Yeah, asking questions is good. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I put that I would organize my stuff where I can find it when I need it. Right now, I'm in a big pile in my office that I've been refinishing floors, like I told you last week, I think. And they had to refinish them again. They made a mess of it. So I had to remove out of my house after I moved back in. I've now moved out again. And my office is like everything in the world is piled there. And I'm trying to like make my desk, an area where I can find things. And most of them have already been thrown into the pile to deal with later.
All right.
So that's my thing, is organize. I need to organize myself.
Okay. I remind you that of the stuff that you want, that's part of the purpose of that notebook. If you want to make sure you can find that piece of paper again for now,
Yeah.
just put it into that notebook, get yourself those little tabs if you need more tabs, and put it on the list. Because at least you'll go like, I think that's in my notebook. And you will find that really helpful as opposed to making a file for it or whatever. Take things out of there that you don't want in there and put the thing, right? use it to your advantage that way. It was instrumental for me in my first couple of years. How do I find this piece of paper that I want, or this bit of information, or whatever it is?
Thank you.
Use it that way. All right, so now we're talking about knowing our numbers and how do we deal with this, right? How are we, and why are we looking at this? Were either of you on the phone call on Monday?
No.
On the Monday morning group coaching call? Okay, so what we talked about there is we gave some examples of an agent who's like, okay, I made 20 contacts this week and I made 38 contacts for the month, and in the year I've made 189 contacts. And I've had 2 appointments and I've had 1 closing. So the conclusion is that it takes 189, or what did I say, 289, whatever I just said, total contacts to get to 1 closing. And it took, since they got 2 appointments, that would be 145 contacts to get to an appointment. What do you think you could learn from that? What would you like to achieve when you look at those numbers?
Getting a better conversion rate.
Yeah, exactly. But how do I know I need a better conversion rate unless I see these numbers and see them in black and white and go, oh, I'm not doing so good. Like, I'm contacting a lot of people and I'm not getting appointments. How do I get appointments? Well, now you go talk to your coach and you talk to each other and you look at scripts and you figure out, am I asking for appointments? Am I hearing when there's an appointment opportunity? Am I tuned to appointments, right? Or am I more worried about whatever? What else can I do if I wanted to convert my appointments to more contracts? If I have, like, what if the thing said, I've had 12 appointments and I've gotten 2 contracts? So the numbers tell you that, right? So I want to show you again. So first of all, there's that tracker, the manual tracker that you have a page for, and getting into that habit. But I wanted to show you core again. So the website is called TLR for the locker room core.com. And have you logged into that before? Okay, so you've either changed your password or you haven't, whatever you did. Oh wait, I should really use the, sorry. Whew, I should use, we have a sample, because if I log in as me, you're gonna see my business. Oh, do you know what the sample agent is? It's gotta be,
The one that Keone created?
kwmauicoaching@gmail.com. And the password, I think, is coachingworks, exclamation mark 19.
No, that's not it. I have it written in the office. Let me ask Keone if he's got
I
it.
need to get these invitations out to people probably before the end of the month. So we have.
Oh, darn. Okay.
I'm looking for.
I got it. All right, so this is what your site is gonna look like, or should look like, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Got it, Marion?
Yep.
She got
It's Coaching Works with a capital C, that was my. All right, so first of all, I want to point out that your Locker Room University is here, and that is going to take you to a different website where you'll have to log in again, but your computer will then remember. And this is where you're going to get a lot of resources. The Locker Room has a simpler listing presentation, and you might say, oh my God, there's so many listing presentations. Well, the value of that is you get to see how different people talk about things differently. And so just kind of take it in, and sometimes I go, I love this page, and I steal that page, and I make it look like mine, but I use that page, right? So that's the value. So take a look at all the material that's in the university. We are going right now to the Success Tracker. So when you go to the Success Tracker, it says, enter your data, and we hit that, and it gives us for to date. Now you can go in here and choose a different date. You can backdate. So if you've got some information for the last month, go in and put it in by week so that you can enter your data. And then it says new contacts made, right? New contacts added to database. Now you guys are focused totally on uploading your database, and so you might end up putting them all in at once, or you might decide to drip them in. So here's the value of considering this. When you turn your 33 touch on, 3 months go by, and the system will tell you it's time to call. And you're gonna, how many names are on your database? 1,000 names. You're gonna get a notification to make 1,000 phone calls. Now, you can totally spread that out for 3 months, or you add them to the 33 touch over time. As I'm saying that, I don't like that idea because I want everybody on the 33 touch to begin with.
Can you just
So
override
you-
that notification part?
You can adjust your 33 touch and take out the calls.
Yeah, but I don't want to take out the calls, but you could, and then put it in your calendar instead, is what
Right,
she's
I do
saying.
the DTD too, so I
Right.
don't need you to remind me. That was so annoying. So now my only calls are
Right.
the people I really need to be following
Right.
up with.
We can
So
I
there
can
you go,
discipline
and I'll
enough
show you how to do
yeah.
that. You can just delete the calls, but then be sure to build it into your,
Into a different system.
well, and that's your system anyway. If you've
Right.
got 1,000 names, you're calling those 1,000 names constantly, right? 3 times a year, 4 times a year, it's gonna take you a year to call 1,000 people 3 times, so, yeah. So, so adding names to your database might not be your big focus right now, but growing your data, like you just had a new client, that would be a new person that you would have added to your database. So then buyer side of the business, new buyer appointments held, well, you just held a buyer appointment, didn't you? Did you get an agency agreement signed? Did you get a buyer-broker agreement signed with the buyer? And was there a contract written with that buyer? And did you have a new buyer written volume? So what was the price of the contract that was written? And then we go up to the next top here, and now we go to sellers. New listing appointments held, new listings taken. What was the volume of the listing that you took? Is the listing now under contract? What's the volume under contract? And here we go to closed transactions. New closings from a buyer, the volume from, new closings from a seller, the volume from a buyer, the volume from a seller, and total new closed volume. Well, in a month where you have a listing and a buyer close, you'll see the value of that, right?
What does volume mean? I'm not sure.
Dollars,
Oh, okay.
dollar amount.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. So that's what we, like when you make a sale, what volume, that's the term we use there. So then, over time, as you add these, the system on the front page is gonna tell you these averages. It's gonna say total closings, business from sellers, conversion rate, listing appointments to listings taken. Why is this so, this doesn't look like it's, there we go. That wasn't in the top, sorry, I thought that was funny. So it starts with contacts made, right? Month to date, year to date, and lifetime. And so as you use this and build over time, you get that. And then here's new contacts added to the database. And then now we have total closings and total closing volume. And now we have business from sellers and business from buyers. And we have conversion rate, listing appointments to listings taken. So when you track your listing appointments and then track how many listings you actually got, this is gonna start meaning something. And when you just do 1 or 2, you go, well, I knew that. In 2 years, when you're doing 20, this is gonna become really interesting to see. It also makes you feel really good when you see it get better. Yeah, and when you see the numbers build. So if you use this as a way to, like, kind of your mindset thing, right? I accomplished this, I tracked my numbers, this is part of what I need to do in order to get better. And then you got contacts to appointments ratio, contacts to new business ratio, contacts to closing. So it's gonna tell you, it took me 189 contacts to get to a closing, whatever the number is. It took me however number of contacts to get to an appointment on average, right? Now, you can pick those apart and say, well, that one was really easy to get, but the other one, that one, I had to talk to these people 5 times before they'd sit down with me, you know, or whatever it is. And then you're gonna get graphs. It's gonna show you on a graph basis what all this looks like. So it'll literally give you, and you can see it goes all the way down. There's lots of graph opportunities here, right? So this is a really powerful tool, and this, along with the toolkit, which is the 3rd button here, and the Locker Room University, is the reason we're in the locker room. Because their tools are really good, and this tracking system is just so superior to what Keller Williams National offered. The locker room, just to clarify again, is about 85, 90 Keller Williams market centers that all use this. So it's still the Keller Williams system, but it's not the whole national system. We as your coaches pay for this so that you have this available to you. So our toolkit, the way the toolkit works here is you just, so you see something here, this is the daily activity tracker, here it is. You can just download it by hitting the cloud, hit the little cloud. Here's the lead generation levers, here's agent profit and loss spreadsheet, job description, all sorts of interesting stuff in here. So take a look, right? I think you have already, but what's helpful is these things are here and you know where to find them.
I wonder if this customizable listing packet is that one that you found somewhere.
It is probably one, that's
Right.
where I got it, was this tool.
Okay.
Was in here, okay. We're gonna show you where our market centers version is. I'll be
Mhm.
showing you that. Did you see that in the Ignite class? You should have gotten that in the Ignite class.
Which one?
You go to our intranet,
Mhm.
from my KW to the intranet, and in the intranet, there are, in documents,
Mhm.
there is a
Yeah.
folder called Buyer and Listing Presentation.
Yeah.
Yeah, which we just
We
found
looked
out
at-
yesterday.
Yeah.
We're gonna check.
So, we'll be talking more about that in our next Essentials class.
Good.
Talk about sellers and listings and stuff like that. Great, so, this is why we offer you this tool, is because this tool can help you treat your business like a business and help you take a look at your activities and get to know your ratios so that you can manage yourself to those ratios and say, okay, it's time to do some script practice here because I'm not asking for the appointment. Literally, sometimes I ask agents and go, that was a great meeting you just had. Did you ask for an appointment? I forgot. It was such a great exchange, and I go, can you go back right now and ask for the appointment? This was somebody who went to Macy's, bought a shirt, met the lady, got to talking to the lady who was serving him at Macy's, whatnot. They had a great connection. He didn't ask for the appointment. I said, go back there right now, find the lady, and go ask her for an appointment, right? We forget, unless we make that our priority, and this will help you remember. So yeah, you can see here on the pages go on a little bit on page 24. it wants to know, so what's your conversion rate for the last 5 weeks, right? Since you've been in Ignite and if you've been making phone calls, and have you gotten appointments out of that? And if so, what are your conversion rates? Now that, of course, you can see numbers. After a while, you also get to see, oh my God, it's working. I'm getting an appointment for every 50 call I make. I'm getting a closing for every 120 contacts I make. Well, if you take $15,000 and divide it by 120, let's make it easy. Let's take $10,000 and divide it by 100. If I need to make 100 calls to get a closing, damn, now my call is worth what? $100. Every call I make, I'm gonna earn $100. So you can play with those numbers, right? And say, well, what's it right now? Right now I'm earning $28 for every call I make, but I sure would like to earn $80. Finally, just to share with you, the average nationwide, new agents should be somewhere around 80 contacts per appointment. When you're getting good at it, you can get down to 30. Because you've got relationships, you now know things about people, your database is feeding you. Exactly. You've got the lead thing going, right? So that's back to building that business. You're also sending them your drip. People are gonna start calling you or respond to you and engage with you, or you're gonna have client events and build your relationship. And so, yeah, it totally changes. Okay. So we are now on page 26, and it says your turn to commit to action. So see if, let's read this together. So we've got number 1, I commit to continuing the daily 10-4. And if you haven't actually done 10 a day, why 10 a day? Why do we say that? I'm on page 26. No? You don't have 26?
I do.
Okay.
Just a little, very big, so it throws me, but I don't have that big. Okay, gotcha.
So, do you know why we say daily 10-4? Why is it 50 a week?
No.
Oh, okay. Do you think we just pulled that number out of the air?
I did. No more.
Like the way it sounds.
Now that you mentioned it, let me think about that. Okay. Yeah. No, they are finding, again, on average, 50 contacts will lead you to a relatively successful business. You want to succeed more? Increase your contacts. It's as simple as that. And again, in the, I believe in the Passport to Success is a, you want to get to capping in 3, 6, 9, or 12 months. So 50 contacts a week is designed to get you to capping by the end of the year. The point is, you don't want to cap at the end of your year, you want to cap in 9 months, right? So, again, you're starting your business, you're going to see this is going to take some momentum, and you're going to need to increase your contacts, right? And that's your goal, is to get to start it. Your goal right now is to get to 50. If you can get yourself to 50, that's humming. And then slowly but surely you can see if you can build on that. So, but that's where the 50 comes from, right? Let's go together. I commit to practicing my scripts daily. I commit to holding open houses every week. I commit to putting all the people in my database into touch campaigns and following up with a phone call every quarter. If you do nothing else, please do that. We are continually shocked at how many people don't use this tool. And having worked for many agencies in my life who didn't offer a CRM that offers this, I can tell you I ain't ever leaving again, because I want to be able to have this 33 touch available to me. It's phenomenal. The time saver, the fact that it just exists and I can just turn it on. I can tweak it a little, you know, modify it and put Maui stats in or whatever I want to do. But it's there and it's already developed. To me, is amazing. And I get people answering all the time saying, oh, I love this newsletter, thanks for sending it. Now, did I get a few people saying, please turn me off, please don't send this to me anymore? Sure, I do, and I say, absolutely. And then I put them into a group called Contact Twice a Year. So I send them a Christmas card, and somewhere along the line, I might have some important news that I share with them. Just a little bit of a touch, right? But, so yeah, people are gonna say, I don't want so many emails, that's okay. So that one's really important. I commit to pre-qualifying buyers and getting a signed buyer representation agreement before showing homes. I hope that's a worthwhile thing to learn, right? I commit to pre-qualifying sellers with a pre-listing packet. I commit to pricing the listing to ensure sale for my customers. How do you do that? How do you do that?
Market analysis?
Well, I wish it were as easy as that. It's learning how to talk pricing. So I just taught the listing classes at RAM, and that'll be your next round of learning, right, is go to those classes. And that class, you got money for us?
Yes.
Well, darling, thank you. How are you?
Happy Halloween.
Thank you. And boo! Boo! So yeah, learning how to talk pricing and helping people understand the importance of pricing accurately. So the better you are at educating people and getting people to price right. And you will see over time, as you get to know other realtors, there are realtors that are known for that realtor always prices too high. And that realtor prices right on. Whatever that realtor does, I agree, I believe it, right? We get reputations. So it's kind of cool. I commit to managing all transactions to a successful close for both parties. That's kind of a nice one.
Yep.
I commit to customer service and creating a win-win for all parties involved. I commit to my 411 and having myself held accountable to it. And I commit to coaching or some form of regular accountability. Right? No successful realtor isn't coached. Dean has a coach. You bet all the successful realtors have coaches. So do you agree with those? Can you commit to those? It's a lot. Yeah. And then here we've got some more. Commit to growth through continued learning and improvements, right? So this is obviously just the beginning. I always check the, I'm on page
27.
Oh, yeah, 27. Our calendar, we always have guest speakers. Colette comes. Colette is our operating principal, one of our operating principals. No, she is the operating principal. And she comes once a month and gives classes to, pertinent to the time. So she's coming, is it next week, Latasha?
Yes,
Next
4th
week.
and 5th.
She's on the 5th, the same day that everything else is.
We need to deal with it. Are we on the 5th?
Yeah.
But
Yes.
we're not at that time, so she's
Is
in
she
the
on the 5th?
afternoon.
She's on the 5th.
She's 4th at Whalers and 5th at Key.
Yeah.
So she's in the afternoon?
Yeah, Whalers is
No.
11 to 12:30.
And Kihei?
Key 1 to 3.
We have core at 1.
If we already paid for it, can we?
You could ask them if you could transfer to the December class,
Okay.
because I looked at that too, and she's offering it again in December. Beth Holliday's an awesome teacher. So you could call RAM and ask them, if you could just move, yeah,
So this one is
On
1
the 5th.
o'clock on the 5th? Oh, thank you.
yeah.
Just printed.
Oh my God, the
Thank you.
calendar!
Oh,
Thank you.
Everything.
All right, so before you get into that,
Okay, your 5th is wrong on here. It's at 10, not 1.
which one?
On the 5th.
On the
Your
5th,
essentials.
my essentials is at 10, not at 1. That would be
Is it 10?
Yeah,
10.
10 to 12.
10 to 12.
Hold on, let me double check, because I think they might be wrong on the calendar.
Okay, move it to 10 to 12.
Okay.
Okay, changing it
So,
right now.
and then,
So we'll go over that in a minute. Let me just finish here. You want to read The Millionaire Real Estate Agent, you want to read The Millionaire Real Estate Investor, and Shift. You particularly want to read Shift. So Colette's been teaching Shift classes, and the more you have got your systems in place and are set up to continue to contact your database and be in touch with them, the more you will be able to do well during the shift, right? It's having that in place. If you scramble and the market changes and you go, oh God, now what do I do? Now you're playing catch up. So you're in this perfect moment in time where you guys are gonna get yourself up and going and be thriving and doing your business really well. Attending family reunions is an opportunity. Consider these events that Keller Williams has. I have to tell you, I've gone to, you know, I was the president of the board and they send us to the National Association of Realtors Convention, and it's good, it's interesting, but I'll tell you something, the quality of the Keller Williams events, wow, wow. I was just blown away the first time I went, and the masterminding that happens. So, right, they put people on stage and Gary Keller just starts asking questions. How did you do that? How many closings did you have last night? 900? How did you do that? What's your key marketing activity? What would you attribute that to? What else do you do? And you just hear from, and then they bring the next agents on, and the next agents on, and you just keep hearing from these people about how they run their business. It's phenomenal.
And that's family reunion.
And Mega Camp, they both do it, yeah. They're both really valuable events, so.
And family reunion is in June?
Family reunion is always in February, and Mega Camp is in May. Excuse me, no, Mega Camp is in August. In May, we have something called, it's the luxury retreat and masterminds. So, but it's shorter, and I would go to one of these. That would be great. Consider Bold when it comes back. Did you guys attend Bold?
No.
No, okay, fine. So it'll be here again next year, and it just totally supports and inspiring, lots of learning, lots of mindset stuff. Nicole, Bold, love, 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 love.
Yeah, I don't even consider it an option, we just have to do it.
Cool. Okay, and then I will take the technology training. Yeah, do that so you can keep up with what technology has to offer there. Here, and again, I'm gonna take you into some of this in our essentials going forward. But we will also, in the Market Center, offer a marketing tools at Keller Williams class so that that's addressed regularly. It's not on the calendar for November, but we'll get it there. All right. Any questions at this point?
When are you gonna do that instruction on constant comment or whatever we're using for?
It's contact.
Contact. You know, the team.
I am a constant comment, yes.
Oh, God.
Constant contact. You're talking about the